How's it going, guys? I'm Josh, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to build a beautiful website for your photography using a website builder like Squarespace. It's a great way to look way more professional, get clients, sell prints, etc., etc. Now, a quick note, this video is actually from my 9-hour-long photography course, which I just dropped, where I cover everything from choosing the right camera gear to shooting cityscapes, sunrise shots, editing in Lightroom, marketing your work online, all kinds of really great stuff. This is just one of 73 never before seen videos, and I'm not going to upload any more than another 1 or 2 of these to YouTube. So if you'd like to check out my course, you can do so with this link right here. Anyway, let's jump into the video. You made it so easy. How's it going, guys? As you get more serious about photography, whether you want to be applying to photo jobs, doing freelance work, selling prints online, or anything in the photosphere, you're going to need a great website. Because you're good with your camera's technology, people are going to expect you to be savvy enough to build a decent looking website. This isn't like the restaurant business, where you can get away with a website that looks like it was made in the 90s. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to build a beautiful looking photo site. Now, these tips will apply to any website builder you choose to work with. However, this video is brought to you by Squarespace, which I've been using for many years now for my photography website. They're very, very user-friendly and intuitive. They've got slick templates, and they allow for e-commerce for selling your prints. So whether you want to build a portfolio, print shop, or even a niche website to promote your skills on the recorder, the most underappreciated instrument, Squarespace has you covered. I'm not going to be walking you through step-by-step of building a site because all these website builders are pretty intuitive and they have tons of FAQs and tutorials online. So instead, I'm going to be focusing on the more general stuff, like how to make your website slick, professional, and serving its purpose. If you've made it this far in the course, you've already seen my photos and you hopefully like them, but you have not seen my website. So if you want to see what I'm working with, just to know if I'm even worth trusting, you can do so at joshkatz.me. And I'll be showing you plenty of examples of it throughout this video. Step number 1, choosing your website builder. So we're going to be using website builders which help you build your website if you don't know how to code, which is huge. Now there are tons of options for this, some free, some paid. Squarespace, which offers 30-day free trials, starts at $12 a month once you start paying for it, and I think it's worth it. A very major warning, before committing to a website builder, make sure you look into their pricing model. Now the reason why is that these sites are very tricky. What they do is they offer you free versions of their website with limited features, then a bunch of little annoyances that you won't realize until you put a bunch of time and effort into building your website with them. So once you realize all these things, you feel like you've come too far and they trick you into paying for those crucial upgrades. For example, a lot of websites' free versions will limit the number of pages you can build, put their own ads on your site that you can't remove, put their own branding on your site which looks very unprofessional, or prevent you from using a custom domain name until you upgrade. So what I recommend you do is Google blank pricing model before you choose to use them, and they'll always have a page that's very prominent and clear that you can take a look at and just notice the features that come with the upgrades and how important they're going to be. Unfortunately, the best website builders you are going to want to pay for, but think of it as a worthwhile investment in building your business. And if you want to look at other website builders beyond Squarespace and see some reviews on them, you can do so right here. And step number 2, get a custom domain name. Nothing looks worse and less professional than having something like joshkatz.squarespace.com. It just screams, I'm too cheap to buy a domain name. Please buy yourself a professional looking domain name. I use joshkatz.me, and joshkatzmedia.com is also locked down in case I change my mind. Now, a lot of these domain hosting sites like to offer a bunch of funky domain names like .me, .gallery, .photo, and it's up to you whether you want to do this or not instead of .com. Some camps love these and think it's the only way to get a good professional looking domain name because every .com is taken, and some people still believe you need a .com to look professional. I'll leave that one up to you, but know that I still use a .me, and I get to use my full name, which is a very common name that I cannot get a good .com for. All I ask is that you don't buy Katz.family because in case my family decides to be an influencer family, just kidding, those are actually the worst things ever. Now a little tip, a lot of the popular website builders will try and sell you domain names at a marked up price. What I recommend you do is use a domain hosting website, like name.com is what I use. They're very affordable. You can get a .com or any sort of website, usually for between $10 and $15 a year. Step number 3, portfolio page. So as photographers, the portfolio page is going to be the meat of our site. This is where we strut our stuff, showing off our best work ever. Now, if you're ever trying to get hired for a gig, the first thing your clients are going to look at is your portfolio page. So we need to figure out a way to show off our work beautifully and quickly. Here's how. The number of photos you should have in your professional portfolio varies, and everyone has their different beliefs, but on average, I keep it between 8 and 20. Another very important thing is keeping a theme. It's very jarring to be seeing a beautiful landscape photo and then see a portrait of a baby. So what I recommend you do is if you specialize in different subjects, consider having multiple portfolios. So I have a portfolio for my portraits, my landscapes, my street photography, and my action sports photography. This is a great way to show off more of your photos because you can put 12 to 20 images in each of these individual portfolios. It's also just good organization. Like if someone wants to hire you for a particular style of photo, they can quickly jump to see that work and see how it is without sorting through the stuff they don't want to see. We also want to make each shot unique. So even though we are following a consistent theme or subject, we don't want to have all of our shots look identical. So try not to have more than one shot from each photo shoot you do because we want to show our diversity of talents. You also want to show only one photo at a time. This is a great way to avoid that sweeping effect we have on Instagram where someone can just scroll through your photos and make a quick judgment on them versus having to really savor each individual shot. So on Squarespace, what I do is I create a carousel and have each photo cycle every 4 seconds. So they have to really look at one at a time versus being able to just see them all immediately. And final portfolio tip, watermarks. Please do not use watermarks. For the love of sweet mercy, these things are horrible. They usually are poorly designed, unprofessional, distracting, and they make you look like you take yourself too seriously. So try to avoid these if you can. That's just my opinion though. And number 4, let's talk about cover pages. So cover pages are the first thing people see when they go to your site. So we gotta make a strong first impression. So the main goal here is to make it minimalist, directly to the point, and beautiful. For example, maybe your main goal is to book photo shoots, then you want to make the pricing and the contact pages very visible, as well as your portfolio, because you always want to make your portfolio visible just to show off your work and that you're a good photographer. Also, this is a really great place to show off your social media, so go ahead and do that as well. Step number 5, contact page. If you want to get business, no matter what kind it is, it's very important to have a contact page. So make this prominent, put it in your top navigation, or maybe even on your cover or landing page if you're trying to book a lot of gigs. And 6, let's talk about pricing for gigs. So if you're doing a lot of photo shoots or weddings, 2 very competitive photo gig businesses, then you're going to want to be very clear about your pricing, or at least just give some sort of information. Now the reason being because there's so much competition in which other people are putting out their pricing. It's kind of the industry standard for photo shoots and wedding shoots to do this sort of thing. And as a result, if prospective clients are looking at a bunch of different photographers, they're going to immediately be like, oh, I have to call this person to inquire about rates. I'll just assume they're too expensive and go with someone who's more clear. So save people time and be very clear about where your rates start at. The trick is not to give too much information because everyone wants different things. You're going to have different interests in different projects, and who knows, it's always good to leave a little bit of room open to negotiation. So what I recommend you do is maybe offer a couple simple packages or just say photo shoots starting at X amount per hour. And of course, if you're not trying to get hired for gigs, you can go ahead and skip this step. You're not going to see this on my website because I'm not trying to get hired for gigs, but people still do sometimes reach out for me to do photo shoots with them, and if the pricing is right and I'm interested and available, sometimes I take it just for fun. And number 7, pricing for prints. So if you have a print shop and you're selling prints at multiple sizes, what I recommend doing is displaying prices starting at blank amount for your cheapest print. And this is a great way to lure people in. This is the same reason why websites do free trials or free versions, why you say prices for photo shoots starting at X amount, and why prints should start at your cheapest price. It's called hook, line, and sinker. Lure them in and then make the sale. And a general tip, make sure that this page in particular looks extra professional because no one wants to spend money on a sketchy looking site. That's just basic human psychology. And if you want more tips on selling prints, I'll be talking about that in the next video. And number 8, remove unwanted branding. So a great way to make your site look more professional is to remove any sort of branding that comes from your initial website builder. So the biggest thing is powered by Squarespace. You'll see at the bottom of your site, you can remove that. You should also change the favicon, I don't know how to say that, and that's the little logo of Squarespace that appears next to each tab open for Squarespace. And you can customize that to be your own logo, and I'll talk about logos in a second. And of course, don't have any ads in your page, so make sure that your free website builder doesn't put ads on there, and don't put ads on there yourself. Even if you think I can monetize this, it looks very unprofessional when a portfolio has ads, because it's like saying, oh, you want to hire me? Well, I'm desperate for money, so maybe my photos aren't that good. Don't do that. Be tasteful and classy. Do not put ads on your site. Of course, unless ads are your business model. So for example, my YouTube has tons of ads because that's how I profit. And number 9, get a logo. I can't stress the importance of this. It is a really nice, tasteful, professional touch to add to your website. And if you don't know how to design a logo, have no fear. You can go to Fiverr.com where people do really amazing graphic design work for just $5. Make sure you get the logo in a PNG file, which means it has a transparent background. You can use it anywhere. And you can also get a favicon design there too. It could just be your name in cursive or a really cool stylized font. Maybe it's gonna have a camera in the logo, whatever you wanna do. I personally think that the cameras are a little bit tacky, but that's just my style. There we have it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out my photo course for the full shebang, link right here. It's my biggest project to date, and I think you'll find it very, very helpful. Additionally, huge thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. They make it incredibly easy to build a sleek, beautiful website as you've seen today, and I've had a Squarespace site for many years where I flex my photo portfolio, sell prints in my online store, and show off my tutorials and camera advice. So whether you are a professional photographer or want to trick people into thinking you are, Squarespace is the move. So head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Josh Katz to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Feel free to subscribe for more YouTube videos and hit me up on Instagram. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you eventually.